If you ever felt tired, overworked, or unsure about how to actually sell your craft and want to turn your passion into a real, organized, and profitable business, you are in the right place. Hi, I'm Christina, creative business productivity coach and someone who truly understands what it feels like to juggle creativity, clients, and real life. This podcast is here to help you grow from feeling overwhelmed and doing everything on your own to building a creative business that feels organized, sustainable, and actually works for you. Because you're not meant to figure this out alone. Let's get into today's episode and welcome to the Art K Coach podcast. I can't believe we're already halfway through the year. Whether this has been your best year yet or one full of unexpected twists, today is a great opportunity to pause and ask yourself one simple question. Am I still working towards the goal I set at the beginning of the year? Not with guilt, not with frustration, just with curiosity. Hey, my sweet friend. If you enjoyed this episode, the best way to give back is to follow the podcast, download the episode, and leave a review. It helps more cake artists like you find this space. Share it on social media, tag me at the Arcade Coach, and come say hi. I would love to connect with you. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, or check the links in the show notes to stay connected. Well, hello, my sweet friends and creative friends, my creative entrepreneurs in the other side of this microphone. Welcome to another episode of the Art K Coach podcast. Christina here. Super happy to have you all back another Tuesday morning here from Lisbon, Portugal. Today's episode is a mix of a couple of things that I've been working on my school community, on the school community, the art of creative business. We've been doing a weekly tip on time management, and long overdue, I was going to share today with you time blocking and theme your days, which we will be working or talking about in a second. But of course, we're in the middle, we're not in the middle, we're actually finishing the month of June and we're halfway through the year 2026. A lot of things had happened in this year, good and bad, a lot of last minute surprise, a lot of unexpected twists, as I said in the beginning. But at the end of the day, we all have to stop and at some point during the year, do a little goal review and see if all of the path that we set at the beginning of the year actually makes sense and how is it going. I think we often make one mistake with goal setting. We set all the goals in January and then we don't look at them again until December. But goals are meant to be written just once. They're meant to guide your decisions through the year. So let me invite you to ask yourself the following questions. Which goals have I made progress on? Which goals no longer fit where I am? What has changed? And what deserves my attention during these next 6 months? If I were to ask myself all of these questions, I will start by saying something to myself. Sorry to be repetitive. Reviewing my goals isn't about admitting that I have failed. It's about making sure that I still climbing the right mountain. Sometimes we just need to pause and take a deeper look or even distance ourselves from our goals and just take a look at what's working and what's not working. That is actually a great tool for time management because you won't be wasting your time on keep working on something that is no longer aligned with you. So once you answer that questions and you decide where you're going, the next question becomes, how do I actually make time for it? And that is where time blocking and theming your days comes into play. Running a baking business is incredible, but the admin part, not so much. Chasing customers for deposit, managing orders over DMs, losing track of your recipes, trying to figure it out what you need to bake this week can be a lot. That's exactly why Crumb HQ was built. Crumb HQ is the platform designed for the ground up for bakers and baking business owners. You get order management, invoices, production planning, a full recipe library, and your own storefront. a beautiful online shop where your customers can browse your products, choose their flavors, frostings, and fillings, and place that order directly with you. No more back and forth, no more spreadsheets, just a proper professional baking business. And only for you, my sweet listener of the Art Cake Coach podcast, we have a very special discount code with 2 months at 50% off plus a 14-day free trial. Yes, you can try it completely free for 14 days, no card needed. Head to Crumb HQ to get started. The links and special discount code for you, it's included in the show notes. Let me start by explaining what time blocking really is. Time blocking isn't about filling every hour of your calendar. You know, those calendars that have pages with all the hours set on a day, and you decide to just write one thing or just block using highlighters and markers all over your diary or your calendar or your agenda. That will only bring you more stress and you will feel more overwhelmed. Time blocking actually is about deciding in advance where your attention belongs. It isn't about reacting to your day. You don't want to be in a reacting mood. You want to design your day so you know exactly what you're doing, when you're doing it, and you're doing it with a purpose. But you might think, Christina, I'm a creative person, and as a creative, I need freedom. I need to work with something that is aligned with me, with my goals, with how I feel, with where I am in the day. If I feel creative, if I feel fulfilled, if I feel drained, if I'm tired. But hear me out. This might actually work for creatives. Creative minds love variety. I know that because we don't want to be stuck doing the same thing over and over again. Otherwise, we will be working in an office or in a factory, but we're not. But too much variety can actually create decision fatigue, context switching, and unfinished projects. Have you been there? Does this sound familiar? I'm sure it does because I was there most of the time. As a creative person, one of the things that drain me is taking the decision of what to do next. Because in my head, I have 1,000 projects. I have many things that I want to be working on. And every new project feels like a new opportunity, like a new beginning. It feels like something invigorating. So you just drop some things and you end up with a lot of unfinished in business and you cannot decide what to work next, which brings you to overwhelm and fatigue. And you're constantly switching from one thing to the other, which actually drains you and doesn't get you anywhere. Time blocking actually reduces that because you need to spend less time deciding and more time creating. I'm going to give you two specific tips about time blocking. We know what it is, right? You have a diary with all the hours of the day, a diary, an agenda, a planner. And then you start, because I've said this before, you start by blocking the things that are fixed, that cannot be moved. And usually what I do that, I also share it here before, is I do it using a marker, like black marker or black pen. So I know I cannot erase it and it cannot be moved. The rest of the day, the rest of the blocking of the day is going to be done in a different color or even in pencil. So those are the things that I can move around during my week. Now, one important tip is do not overblock. Do not pack your day because life happens and you need to leave room for maneuver. Otherwise, you're going to be in a constant stress because you're always going to feel that you're not completing what you planned for the day. So don't overplan, don't overblock. Whatever time you decide to give to a task, let's say you have admin work and you decide to give 1 hour on Monday morning to do your admin work. Well, I have a tip for you. Make it 2 hours because we have this default of underestimated the time that any of our tasks are going to take. So, whatever time you're blocking for one activity, double it. That's my advice. just until you know exactly how long something takes you. And still, like I've been doing this for years. And today, when I block my time to do this podcast, what happened is my kids are on holidays, all here at home, and they all interrupted me at least 3 times to ask for stuff. So I thought I was going to start doing the episode at 10, but it's actually 10:30 and I'm just starting. So double the time so you know that you have room for maneuver. Don't overpack, don't overblock time because you're going to feel more stress and more drained. And be absolutely honest with yourself about the amount of things that you can actually complete in one day. Otherwise, you're going to end up more stressed than when you started. Now, one thing that I do in order to make my life way easier during the week is to theme my days. I run each day with a theme. I even do that on social media planning. So I have an idea of what I'm going to be doing. I love these topics because it feels very sustainable. It feels like it's something that I actually can keep doing every single week. And it gives me that sense of variety every day. Let me give you an example. Monday is going to be planning and CEO day. So that is my day with all of the admin and CEO stuff that I need to do for my business is going to get done. Tuesday, I'm going to work on client work, on contacting clients, calling clients, sending inquiries, all of the things that you need to do. This is just an example, doesn't mean that it has to be like that. Let's say on Wednesday, I do content and marketing. Thursday, I can take a look at my finances. And Friday, learning and community. I can learn something new and I can be or participate in the communities that I'm part of. And this is just an example of something that I might do in a week, but maybe for you would look like Mondays is for planning and marketing, while Tuesday is for promotion, client, and I don't know, finances. And then you decide that Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays are your creative time. That is the time that you're going to use to run your creativity and to work on the hands on part of your business. Because if you have a creative business, either if you bake cakes or you create products, you're going to need time to sit down and create your products. So you can pick a day to do that, or you can pick hours in a day to do that. The thing is, when you give a theme to your days, it gives you an idea of the things that you need to take care of that day. Also, it gives you boundaries. So your clients, your family, the people around you know that Mondays, I'm doing admin work from this hour to this hour. So this is a time not to be bothered. I won't be answering emails. I won't be replying to calls. I'll reply to your calls later on. This can help you also set your own working schedule. It's something that might work for some of you, and it's something that might not work for some of you. And like every advice that I give here on the podcast, try it out. Give it a week. See if it works. If it feels that it's something added, something that is actually bringing more heaviness to your week, don't do it. But if it feels light, if it feels that actually is helping you make your week easier, then keep practicing, keep doing it, keep trying it, and see if it can be kept for the long run. Now, you might wonder, why should I theme my days of work? Well, it's easy. Instead of saying, what should I do today? You already know. So actually, it will bring you less stress, less switching around, and more fun. Now, before we finish this episode, I want to go back to my point on goal setting reviews. It is important when we know or when we plan what we're going to do, when we plan either to block our time or to theme our weeks, to know exactly where we're going. We talk about this in the beginning of the year when we did a bunch of episodes on goal setting. When you do your goal setting, what you're actually making is a roadmap. You're setting the course to where you want to head during the year, during the month, during the quarter, or even in the space of 5 to 10 years. Once you know where you're going, you actually know, or it's easier for you to see the steps that you need to take in order to get there. Also, not only to know what steps to take, but to make the right decisions. Because every time something comes along your way, and every time you're going to decide to do something, you just ask yourself, is this aligned with my goal? Will this take me to where I want to get? You'd be surprised of how many people do not set goals and how many people are just winging it on their business. Because, and I think I understand, I might have started like that. No, I actually did start like that. I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't know where I was going. And, at the moment I thought, "Ugh, this is just another thing to think about. And I don't have time for that because I want to create beautiful cakes." But actually, once I said, wait a minute, this is not going anywhere, I feel like I'm just, uh, walking on an internal treadmill that is not getting anywhere and I'm not accomplishing anything. I started to set goals. I started to want to get to places, to get to things, to want to achieve things. And everything became clear. So it's not about adding more, it's about actually knowing where you're going. What happens is, and that has happened to me this specific year, I set many goals at the beginning with an idea where my business was going. And just recently, as you know, everything changed. I realized that I was not only serving cake decorators, but creatives in general. And that set me in a different path. I'm not going to say set me back because it didn't. It actually set me in a different path where my priorities, the ones that I sat on the beginning of the year, some of them were not longer relevant. Now, how did I get there? Is because I sat down and I went back and reviewed all of the goals that I set on the beginning of the year. And I'm going to tell you two things that surprised me about the goals. It's almost magic. It's almost like it's, you know, a woo woo thing. It's crazy, but it's true. When I went back and checked on the goal setting, I have a goal setting notebook and I write it every beginning of the year. And I took the time this year to do it in a very beautiful, quiet place because we spent New Year's Eve on the mountains. And on January 1st, everybody went to for a walk. And because my knee was not in the best place, I decided to stay behind, stay home by myself, and sat down and set my goals. So it was a beautiful setting. I set all my goals. I did the work. It was very thorough and it was very deep. And when I went back, I haven't opened that notebook. I didn't open that book until last week because I was in the middle of all of these changes and all of this shift on my niche. And I was like, wait a minute, I haven't checked on my goals yet. I have to see what's happening. Is this aligned or not? So I went back and checked it out. And funny enough, the most significant, deepest goals, like the ones that were actually I'm not going to say life changing, but the ones that were like, this is something that I want for my life, were more aligned to what I was doing now than what I was doing before and where I was heading before the change in my business. Because now it feels more me. Now it feels like it all makes sense. Another thing that I realize is, even though if you write your goals in January and you don't look at them until June, like I did, somehow they always find a way to make it to come to reality. I set some goals in there that I didn't look until now. And when I read them, I was like, actually, I did it. And it wasn't intentional, but just by the fact, hear me out, just by the fact of writing it down and putting it in this piece of paper that is serious for me, that is important for me, somehow I think in a unconscious level I knew that I was going to get there, and I kind of got there without even thinking about it, just by setting the goals. There's some that deserve more work and still have to work on, but there are others that I just set things in motion in January, and till today, they have actually made a change. It's amazing. And it just happened because I set the goals. That's it. I didn't stress over it. I didn't, obsess over it. It was just sad. It was like, this is where I want to get at the end of the year. And I just set things in motion. So that's another beauty of goal setting. Once you write it down, somehow deep inside of you, it's written in stone. It's there and you set things in motion. Even if it's little tiny shift that with time will add up to big results. Before we go, my friends, I really want to go back to the time blocking and just give you with some more tips. Not tips, but just a recap of everything that we shared today. Don't block every minute. Start with the fixed activities of your day, maybe one theme day, and protect your time blocking. For example, if you say my theme day, one theme day a week, Mondays, admin. That's it. You don't need to theme every single day. Just choose the thing that needs to be you need to work more with. Let's say admin is something that you overlook, or marketing is something that you overlook. Set one day, and it doesn't have to be the whole day. It can be morning. Okay. Monday morning is for admin work. So you theme one day and you block 9 to 11 to do deep work on Monday on your admin. That's it. You protected one specific time block and you theme one day. One small shift. Remember what I said with the goals. Once you start doing it, even if it's small, it set things in motion. My sweet friend, my creative entrepreneur in the other side of this microphone. Remember, a calendar isn't just a place to record appointments. It's a reflection of your priorities. If your goals aren't showed up in your calendar, they're probably not showing up in your life either. So this week, take a few minutes to review your goals, choose one priority, and then give it a place in your calendar. Because the future you're trying to build deserves more than just good intentions. It deserves to be protected. And you are the protector of your time. I want to leave you with one question. What is one goal that you still love to accomplish before the end of the year? What would your ideal theme week look like? Actually, those are two questions, not one. But think about this. And one little coaching moment that I would like to add at the end. Time blocking isn't about creating a perfect schedule. It's about protecting the time for the things that matter before life fills it with everything else. Think about that. And my sweet friend, this is it for today. My sweet and creative friend, this is it for today. And I will leave you as I always leave you. Stay safe and stay creative. I'll see you next week. Bye bye. If you've been feeling overwhelmed, unsure what to focus next, or like you're constantly busy but not really moving forward, the Art of Creative Business community is for you. Inside, you'll find all the help creative home business owners need to go from feeling scattered to actually having a clear plan, structure, and direction in their business. Remember, you don't have to figure it out your creative business alone. There is a lovely community waiting for you. It's where we talk about real things: mindset, time management, orders, burnout, but we're doing it while we're having fun. So, if you're ready to go from an overwhelmed creative with no time to enjoy life to a creative business owner with a plan and a productive business that brings you joy and an income, come and join us. I'll leave you the links in the show notes.